for coming. We're going to talk about Comstock mining right now. Actually, a very good lead-in from the last speaker, talking about his favorite metal being silver. The Comstock Lode is one of the most historic mining districts in the United States. You may or may not be familiar with it, but the skinny is that from 1859 till about, let's say, 1920, almost 200 million ounces of silver and over 8 million ounces of gold were mined with, at the time, picks and shovels, pneumatic jackhammers, and what today would be considered non-modern technology. So our claim to fame is that we consolidated the entire district. We literally have a 6-mile contiguous mineralized trend reflected by the gray area shown on this chart. From the top of the top circle to the bottom of the bottom circle is literally 6 miles. It's a 10 square mile land position in Story and Lyon County, Nevada. And although it was difficult and took almost 8 full years to consolidate the entire district from 2003 till about 2011, the more difficult exercise, in my opinion, was rezoning, re-entitling, getting the social and legal license to actually move forward. And in doing that, we had to mine on a small scale from 2012 to 2016 and had all of our permits expanded for the next phase of development. We did it very responsibly. In fact, we ended up winning 2 first-place awards in the state of Nevada for excellence in reclamation from 5 different regulators unanimously voting on it. So our foundation, our social license, our legal license at this point could not be stronger. We sit literally 30 minutes from Reno and about 20 minutes from Carson City. For those of you that don't know, in the United States, Nevada is about 88% of the United States' gold production. If Nevada was a country, it'd be the 4th largest producer of gold in the world. Fluctuates between 4th and 5th largest, and also a huge silver. But we sit in the civilized part of Nevada, if you will, being close to Carson, which is where all of the regulatory body for mining is, and Reno, where all the labs, all the engineering firms, and all the mining infrastructure and support sit. So we're a little bit spoiled in that regard. We're also 10 miles from the California border, and that's Lake Tahoe that you see to the left-hand side of the diagram, right? So we're in a very unique area, and in fact, let me just spend a minute on the real estate. We have a 10 square mile property position, which is shown in the cartoon in the orange there in the lower left-hand area where it says Comstock Lode. Above it, you see what is the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. So sometimes it's better lucky than good, but we're literally sitting right next to the largest industrial park in the world, where Tesla, Google, Switch, Apple, I can't exaggerate the amount of businesses that are flowing in. And so our non-mining real estate properties have also gone through the roof in terms of value. And so that industrial park was just announced last week. It was totally sold out. And the businesses are just about 10 or 15% into the development of the park. So everyone's staked their claims, everyone's investing their money, and the economies are exploding. For us, that means that our properties, including some non-mining properties that we have just been revalued at about $15 million. So we're looking to monetize those properties now. They're actively being assessed for purchase, and once we sell those properties, we'll pay off less than $10 million of residual debt that we have, and that'll really put our balance sheet, in the strongest within our junior segment. More importantly, we just entered into an agreement with a partner to jointly develop our Lucerne project. It's our biggest, resource. We're recalibrating the resource. We're reconstituting the resource together with our partner, Tona Gold, and we're looking to move that project forward. The great thing about Lucerne is that we have a tremendous amount of data. Lucerne is reflected at the sort of right-hand side of this slide in terms of amount of drill data. And what we're really doing is reassessing the resource, reassessing the most practical mineable reserves, and ultimately coming out with an updated technical report to move it back into production. The beauty of this area is it's fully permitted. In 2015, we had all of our permits expanded. We have the right to open pit mine. We have the right to underground mine. We have fully permitted areas for processing, and the entire infrastructure from a Merrill-Crowe crushing heap leaching facility is built and maintained and ready to go. So once that mine plan can be developed, the speed to get back into production for Lucerne would be much faster than most projects at this stage. The agreement that we have allows for earn-in to 51% of all of the mineral claims and also 51% of the back infrastructure that supports it. So it was very collaboratively built, it was very intelligently designed, and we're working together with our partner as we move forward on it. We also invested some money from the initial mining phase to build an underground portal right alongside the mineralized zone in the Lucerne. And so what that's done is it's positioned us not only to drill from the surface, but potentially to drill much, much more efficiently from underground where it's called for. So it's really ready to go for better development. We also have vast exploration upside in our other properties. To the south, we have the Dayton Spring Valley complex, and to the north, we have the Occidental complex. So one is northeast of the Lucerne, and the other are directly south of the Lucerne, all contiguous within our property position. And in Dayton, we actually have a resource. We have about 250,000 ounces of measured and indicated, about 250,000 ounces of inferred on about, let's say, 800 to 1,000 feet of the strike to the north. The beauty of the Dayton Spring Valley is it's an 8,000 foot strike. So it's a mile and a half or more. We've done a good amount of drilling to establish that maiden resource. We've done a tremendous amount of geophysics. We've done some structural analysis of that geophysics, and we've drilled and hit some very, very exciting discovery holes as we go south from the Dayton. It's still early, but we ultimately believe there's a much, much bigger mine here than just the shell that we developed for the Dayton. Having said that, we did develop an initial economic shell. The profile of the ounces are extraordinary. The average grade for this open pit is about 1.8 grams per ton. It's still a relatively small economic shell, but with, as I said, 7,000 more feet of potential development. We've had some analysis of how to expand that pit and how to develop it with third parties, and it's all very, very promising for us. Lastly, to the north, we have another mile and a half strike. Used to be called the Brunswick Lode. We've consolidated over 40 patented and unpatented claims. We don't have a lot of drilling, but there is some historical mining. Nothing close to the Comstock Lode, but some very, very near surface mining with some incredibly high historic grades. And so we have a mature Lucerne project that we're trying to develop back into a mine. We have a Dayton resource that we want to expand and grow. We have the Spring Valley and Occidental, which are exploration upsides, all entitled now for development going forward. And that's it.